Hey everyone, I just wanted to do another quick video on just kind of like demystifying um, some of the stuff here in networking, right? So you've watched 100 videos by now, in this class. Hopefully, if you've watched everything, and there's all these terms and there's all this stuff, right? This oh my gosh, all this networking stuff. Um, but the real way to look at all of this, especially if you're coming from a programming background, is just imagine, like, if you remember structs from your C class, right? Where, or if you, hopefully you've done some C by now, but it's struct, my struct, right? And then you've got an int, you know, age. You've got char star name, right? And you've just got this little, you know, container, if you will, that is just going to have a fixed size based on the data types in it, as well as kind of like defined values that they're going to hold, right? So if you understand structs, you understand network packets. It's the same thing because it has to be the same thing because all networking is coded on a computer, and how else are they going to do it, right? So just going to do a um, simple exercise just to kind of show you the flow of how you would get something in Wireshark and then how to think about what you're seeing, right? So I'm running just a simple HTTP server over here. I'm going to run netcat. I'm just going to do a GET request, come over to Wireshark and stop it. And now we got some stuff, right? I'm just going to pick any old packet here, okay? And as you should have seen in the other videos, on how to actually look at this stuff, each one of these represents a layer of the packet and all that stuff. But all of these are just structs, right? So if you look here, in the struct that defines an Ethernet header, it has a field called destination, field called source, and then you've got a type, right? And how this would look in C, um, would be something like this. You've got, struct Ethernet, and then maybe you've got a char array of dest, and how many bytes is it? All right, we've got one. I should know this by heart. 6 bytes. Char source is another 6 bytes, and then you've got type. Sorry, char type, which is going to be 2 bytes, right? And that's basically it, right? Like that is all an Ethernet header is. Okay. Um, so you've got one of those at the very beginning of your packet, right? And what that type is going to tell you is what's next, right? It's just an identifier so that the computer on the receiving end, as it gets this packet, is going to know, okay, I've got IPv4 following this, so I need to pass that to the corresponding application that's going to be able to handle it. You go into your IPv4 packet or your IPv4 struct, and it's exactly the same thing. You've got a struct IPv4, all the fields. First one is the version, right? So that's 2 bytes. Maybe that's a short version, right? And then in this case, it's 4, right? And then you've got length. It's another short. And this isn't exactly how it is. I think this is just 1 byte, and they're setting the high and low order nibbles of it. But just for the sake of this, demonstration, and then it's a 5, right? For 20 bytes, and the number and the length gets multiplied by 4, so that's how you get 20 bytes, right? And on and on and on for the entire struct that is an IPv4 header. Um, and thinking about it in those terms hopefully will help you, bridge a little bit of the gap from a programmatic background to, just kind of what's going on in Wireshark and in computer networking.